Welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show on 94.7 The Pulse. Music, interviews, news, and, well, Two Blokes Chatting. Now, here are the two blokes.
'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've travelled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Marillaba, Birdsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara, Connemara, Strathround, Proserpine, Alladala, Darwin, Gingin, Nilliquin, Muckilla, Wallumbilla, Bougainville, Cumberland, Ramakiller. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts
We've done it again. We've found somebody who lives in a town that isn't mentioned by Lucky Star in the song, or hereafter known as Lucky Les Star, because we've got to have three names, don't we? We are going to a settlement area. It's not really a town, I don't think. We'll find out in a moment.
Like Wordy Bullock.
It is. It's called Bobadah, and we are finding Emily Sinderberry up there. G'day, Emily.
Hello, how are you?
Good. You've got Neil here, and the other voice you've already heard is Rob. Well, you know what the obvious question is going to be? Where the hell is Bobadah?
Oh, well, the easiest way to explain is the geographical centre of New South Wales. So we're right out in the middle of New South.
Which is quite coincidental because Geelong is the geographical centre of the universe. So there you go. That's
I grew up in a place like Bobadah, but your town sounds like it's a lot flashier than mine because you've got a hall.
Yep, no, that's about it.
Well, you've got a reservoir.
You can't do much in a reservoir except catch a fish, but at least in a hall you can get out of the rain and talk to your mates.
But you can't catch a fish.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. So the centre of... what's the closest big place that people would have heard of?
Well, Condobolin is our nearest town, but if you're going big centres, Dubbo or Orange or Wagga are sort of, biggest places.
Orange is the coldest place I've ever been on the planet. Woke up there in a -5 degree frost and I thought I was going to disappear off the planet. Do you get cold days up there as well?
We do, but definitely not as bad as Orange.
Nothing's quite as bad as Orange when it comes to frosts. And I think there'll be people out there screaming at the radio or their computer or their phone or whatever they're listening to this on, saying Condobolin, surely there is a famous rock star comes from that part of the world. Rob's looking puzzled.
Yeah, Shannon Knowles, our claim to fame.
Oh, and a good claim too. Nothing wrong with that boy's work.
He's got a car. He's got a big black shiny car.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's a good lad.
And in fact, the film clip for What About Me was filmed in Condo.
Was it?
Down the main street and at the Midtown corner store. That's our little famous corner.
I imagine farmers are abound in Bobadah, but like most other places, there's less of them. There seems to be bigger farmers, bigger machinery, less people required. That means less people in the region. Is that the same up in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, there definitely is. We've got quite a good little community around us, so in terms of farmers and lots of young families around us. So it's a really nice community we've got.
And what is the biggest part of is it a wool, cattle, cropping? What goes on most?
Probably a nice mix of all those three, I would say. We personally have cattle and cropping, but there's lots of sheep farmers around us. So, yeah, it's a diverse sort of range.
When we spoke during the week, you and I, Emily, because people don't think I do any preparation for this program, but I did make a phone call. The area that you described, and everyone says that their part of the world's the most beautiful part of the world, but you told me it's a really attractive part of the world. Describe the terrain around you.
Yeah, I guess you're gently undulating. We've got some hill ranges and we're on red dirt, so that's a nice contrast, I guess, to the river country.
Yes.
We're an hour north of the river, so yeah, red dirt, undulating sort of country.
What sort of rainfall have you got there? Are you in the, they call them mils these days, but let's say the old days, inches. Would you be an 18 to 20 inch rainfall?
Oh, inches, I can't convert that quickly. We're about 400 to 440 mil.
Oh, that's not much.
That's about 16.
Yeah, about 16, 17. So it's a dry-ish climate.
Yes, yeah.
Now, we can't sort of promote businesses on this because we're a community radio station, so we don't do promotion to business. But tell us a little bit about the group that you head up.
Yeah, so I've got my own business, bookkeeping business, EJS Business Services, but we've also recently launched the Virtual Cooee. I co-founded it, and it's an online platform for Australian rural and regional virtual assistants to work online and connect with business owners. So that's an exciting space that we're venturing into.
And this is something I thought was worth just having a chat about, Rob, because what we're talking about here is not just your VAs, your traditional virtual assistant that does the typing for you or whatever. This is a community of regionally based people providing a range of services, but to other regional and, in fact, city folks. It's a really interesting concept.
So, Emily, is this about you've found a successful method and you want to share it with others? Is that the core of this?
Yeah, kind of. So we're more the facilitators of that relationship. So we've just got an online hub where our virtual assistants have listed their services. So any business owner that's looking for some help can go to the virtualcooee.com.au and on there they can, view all the different services and book, and the payments all facilitated through the hub. So it's a really neat little streamlined process to work with our virtual assistants.
Yeah, now Rob's just got up and walked out. I don't know whether you said something to offend him or he's going to the studio to start the next program, one or the other. But that's okay. I'll chat to you for a little while. So to me, I think this is really, I think we've talked a lot about regional businesses and how they survive and so forth. This seems to me to be a way in which businesses are able to survive and in fact flourish, even though they're miles from anywhere, as you are.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's more, we all know how hard it is to get employees these days. And also, we've got a lot of businesses that don't have the resources to put someone on permanent, part-time or full-time. So it's a good way to sort of access some help without being locked into any contracts or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell the folks where they would find Condo if they were driving up the Newell Highway, because that's generally the way people, where would they need to turn off? And then if they were going out to see you at Bobadah, how would they go getting there?
So you could turn off a few places. You could turn off at West Wyalong and then head north an hour to Condo, or you could turn off at Forbes or Parks and head west, and we're an hour sort of west of the Newell Highway. And then once you get to Condo, to get to Bobadah, it's an hour north towards Cobar. Okay,
so you literally are in the middle of, not only the middle of New South Wales, but in the middle of nowhere.
That's what a lot of people say. We think we're in the middle of everywhere because it's sort of 2 hours to everywhere.
Yeah, I guess so. And this is the thing, isn't it? 2 hours drive for you is nothing. For most other people, they tend to freak out a bit when they start thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Emily, thanks for coming and spending a few minutes with us on Regional Roundup. It's part of our education program here on the Two Blokes Chatting radio show. We do that to try and help people know where you are, but also hopefully people go and, hey, I might check this place out on the way up to Queensland or wherever they're travelling to.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, well, our region, the Lachlan Shire and Condobolin, would love to have any travellers that are heading up the Newell Highway. So venture off the Newell and come and visit us.
Sounds good. Thanks, Emily. We'll chat again.
Thank you. Bye.